Hi, my name is Marjorie Guillaume. I am a cycling commissaire for road, track, and cyclocross, and I am a candidate for the 2019 CCC presidential elections. When you take a look at what other cycling unions from around the world have been able to accomplish in a very short time, effectively using solidarity funding with a clear vision and a strategic plan to acquire resources to develop the sport of cycling, it's clear to everybody that we in the Caribbean area, we are too far behind. Cycling in all of its forms is literally dragging in our area. There has never been a plan in nearly 20 years for development. So it's about time that we think about a change. And to make those changes, it is important to look at how things have been running since the creation of the Confederation. There is a lack of structure. There is no structure, in fact. Events are delivered in a random way. Days for championships are chosen in a random way. There is no calendar of events. This is something I'm proposing. And federations are left alone on their own to struggle when organizing races most of the times, and our finances are inadequately handled. We have no financial reports, not even a bank account for the confederations after 4 terms for nearly 20 years of existence. I have pointed this out before, so I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent will run to the bank and get an account as we speak, but ahead of elections, but everybody knows that this is how things been running on cash and CCC. So there's no way to make financial reports. So we have nothing concretely to prove, to show for as an organization, besides a few championships organized by the federations themselves with some technical supports, of course. And too often, there's not even a proper technical visit before the races are held. And that has caused lots of problems for the federations and the riders. So the leadership in place is on his 4th term. Plenty of time to improve cycling conditions in our community if there was a plan for true development. That should make you think, should terms in office be limited by the Constitution? Because CCC is not a private company, and people should welcome the idea of holding democratic elections every 4 years, as per the Constitution. So, in terms of true development, what we need to ask ourselves is, if we don't make a change now, will things be still the same for the federations and the riders in the next 4 years? Likely yes. Likely yes. Yes, this is how it's going to stay. Mainly if we keep hiding behind the word politics, rather than facing the challenges that are preventing us from growing. Are federations happy with the way our resources are currently managed? No, they're not happy. When you talk to them, they're not happy. Can we do better for the federations? Yes, we can. A lot of people choose to do bad politics, and a lot of wrongdoing or hiding behind the word politics, which often get people confused. It would be helpful if we could shift that thinking into practicing good politics for the betterment of this community. When you keep your community informed, you empower them. That's good politics. When you consult with them, you consult with your members and have identified ways to improve the conditions. That's good politics. When you work in a sustainable way, you want to add value in your community, promote love and respect for all people, men and women. That's good politics. However, when you keep a system for nearly 20 years that is empowering politicians instead of the federations, concentrating the decision-making process in the hands of a few rather than operating on a consultative basis, always deviating attention instead of addressing the real problems, that's what we can call bad politics, and that is not serving the community. Good politics make propositions to function properly and meet the needs of the community it serves. It encourages the proper use of money and the management of resources as well as conducting democratic elections. The day we will use good politics in the sport, we will start seeing real progress for everyone, not just the same old few. The day we start neutralizing negative politics, instead use politics in a positive way, that will help small federations get ahead. That will be progress. Unit politics are useful, but unfortunately, too many people using that in an unlawful way. And by doing so, keeping some of us on a chain, rather than helping us grow, teaching us the way, and accompanying us to success. Thankfully, there are still many who are firm believers in progress, in solidarity, and giving help to those in need. I am a firm believer in progress. I am a firm believer in the empowerment of others. I believe that we can change the course of this bad politics at the upcoming elections. We will all agree that trying to run an organization without the technical knowledge is not possible. That's why you'd have a lot of talking from bad politicians and not much of doing anything. You can choose to stay on the path of yeah man for an answer. Or you can acknowledge that we need people who can achieve what bad politicians have not been doing for us so far. We need a balance. We need a balance of good politics and technical expertise at the CCC. And that is what my program will bring at the CCC, the balance. And the doors to that balance will be open at the upcoming elections by voting for a sound development program that will make sure that resources are properly given to CCC national federations and that they are fully supported in their development projects. If we act today, the future generations of riders will thank us for stepping forward. We need to act for the benefits of this community, the collective good. If you have been on the road for 4 terms and nearly 20 years and you're not satisfied, well, change the course of it. Change the course of things. Don't be fooled by a nice dinner and a few pictures and some other empty offers, but look at the conditions in which your federations have been evolving for so long. That's the real thinking here. And we can reach that balance I'm talking about with a progressive leader and a well-balanced system that will work cooperatively to achieve results for our community of cycling. You know, I did not make alone the decision to run for this position. Many federations I have spoken with confirm that we have the need for revived leadership at the CCC. We need a leadership with a backbone, one that is able to look outside the box and stretch beyond that little box to propose solutions for our issues. That is what you will get with somebody like me on your side and with the support of a renewed executive board. I have worked in many parts of the world. I have worked in Haiti in youth programs. I have worked for the YMCA youth program in New York City. I have been a school teacher working in many states in the US. I have worked in France, in the UK, in Africa, and Asia. I have helped so many federations in those areas, and I would like to also help federations in my own region to unstuck themselves from where this ineffective, bad political system has locked them for so long. Yes, our federations are locked into a labyrinth of bad politics and no development strategy. My experience at the UCI means that I have the inside knowledge that my opponent doesn't have. He has never sat around the table at the international level with the top decision makers to have the first-hand information on how the cycling development decisions are taken and to position the interests of the cycling community in the Caribbean. Instead, for 20 years, he has been getting second-hand information based on what other people's interpretation of things are. When it comes to the real cycling agenda at the highest level, I have the experience. I know the actors, I know the facts, I know the figures. Whereas my opponent has not been exposed to anything more than what's in his complacent bubble, supported by the practice of bad politics to help him hold on to power. In a single year, cycling in Haiti has made tremendous progress for both men and women. And we are grateful for the support we have received from the UCI Solidarity directly. In 20 years in cycling, my opponent doesn't have a cycling team, national team in his country. He doesn't have a national cycling team in his country. He has not developed cycling for no men, neither men nor women. On his own country, not a single athlete, no male, no female. I'm not talking about family members riding, which is great, but that's about it. But where is the development of the sport in his own country? What is his track record? None. Nada. Zero. So it's not surprising that he has not done much for our own community. If he's not doing anything for his own country, he doesn't have a cycling team in his own country, how can we expect someone like this to develop cycling for our Caribbean region? I am a practical person. I endeavor to practice good politics and keep my integrity because I know what it means to be lied to. I have seen how federations from smaller countries are struggling to keep the sport alive, while a few are receiving thousands of money in solidarity funding, but choose to keep it away for themselves and the privileged ones. So, do we want to keep that system underserving our community? I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, I don't have anything personally to gain out of this. And every other candidates for the executive board know that this is a volunteer work. But we are candidates because we care for our cycling community and we would like to see some progress. Personally, I'm a successful entrepreneur. I own my own company. I'm happily married and has God blessed me with 2 beautiful children. So it's not a personal matter here, but it pains me to see, and I'm not the only one, to see the level of inadequacy in which federations are in. And some don't even realize that because they are not fully aware of the amount of money, the amount of resources that are being given on their name, on their behalves, but which they are not getting. And my opponent is happy keeping quiet on these issues because, well, you tell me why. What is his interest for saying nothing for so many years on these fundings? If we continue like that, we will continue to watch the Tour de France every year, but riders from the Caribbean will never take part in unless they are part from the French islands. We'll continue to bid for a wild card every World Championships and hope for the best. We'll continue to miss the qualifications for the Olympics. We'll keep hosting championships with no real values. And that's where it hurts. Lots of federations are financing all activities out of their own pockets. Whereas if the funding being given in the region was more balanced, they wouldn't have to do so. So practicing good politics in our sport is holding leaders accountable for the misuse of resources and fundings being poured into the development of the sport, and none of which is reaching the countries that really need the help in our region. The majority countries or category 3 or 4 of the UCI classifications, we need to understand what that really means in terms of financial support. If you're happy with just a pat on your shoulders, yeah, my friend, well, I'm here to tell you that you're being fooled. Open your eyes. Work with someone who can achieve results and who will represent your interests. That is why I'm asking you for your vote at the elections in Cuba, because with me, you will see true progress. You know, I grew up in one of the most challenging environments one can imagine, Haiti. I grew up in a family of 13 children. Yes, I am number 12 of the bunch. I have 11 brothers and sisters. My mother died when I was only 3 years old. My father worked tirelessly to provide for us and to give us an education. I was lucky to have been partly raised by my grandmother. She died when I was 13, and from that point on, at the age of 13, I had to grow up. I started working at the age of 16 while attending school at the same time, full time, and I quickly learned that progress comes with a price. It calls hard work. I learned to stand up for what is right and to believe in giving back to my community. Everything I have done in my life, I have always been at the service of others, and that's part of who I am. So, I'm asking you to renew our governance. Let us work together using all available expertise. I have an extensive list of sports contacts in France, the UK, and other parts of the world, in Europe and Africa, who will be happy to assist us in many ways. So let's build partnerships so we can reach our full potential. And with me by your side and a renewed executive board, the cycling in the Caribbean area will be riding upward. Thank you.